Thank you, everybody, for joining us back here at electroCore's channel. We have another special interview for you guys today. Now, previously, we talked to Peter, but today we are sitting here with the Chief Executive Officer and Director at electroCore, Dan Goldberger. We're going to dive into his past and his experience. Dan, how are you doing? Are you ready to get into it?
Great, Mike. Thank you so much for creating this opportunity, and we're super excited to be working with you on this project.
Perfect. I'm very glad to have you on. I want to paint a picture of who you are for people before we dive into the company. So you've been described as something as a medical tech veteran, so to speak. Can you share some of your previous success and like what really drives and motivates you in this industry?
I guess that just means I'm old and in the way. But thank you for the kind words. Look, I was trained as an engineer. I spent the early part of my career in product development, and from there I moved into operations and manufacturing, and from there into sales and sales support. And I've been in general management in CEO roles since it's for more than 20 years now, since the late 1990s. I've most of my career, all of my professional career really has been in medical devices and diagnostics. I did some work in patient monitoring, pulse oximetry, respiratory gas analyzers, EKGs, EEGs. I did a lot of work in glucose measurement, primarily for diabetes and other metabolic syndromes. I ran an orthopedics business, ran a biologics business, I ran an infusion pump business, and here we are at electroCore. I've developed a reputation of, I've got a lot of product development chops and, new initiative kinds of things. But over the last 10 years, I've kind of evolved into more of a turnaround executive. And electroCore was a bit of a fixer-upper when Brian Posner and I came in 2019. And I'm very, very excited about the state of the business and the momentum in the business right now.
Interesting. So you've been playing in this industry, and it's really interesting for me because I was a paramedic. So a lot of those things, from the pulse ox to the blood oxygen to the infusion and all those things, are things I'm familiar with. So it's always interesting to see the behind the scenes of who's been putting those things together. So Dan, I guess I'm curious, now that you've been there for 3 years, can you walk me through and demystify what the role of the CEO is at electroCore, what it is you do on the day-to-day?
That's a big question. I'll try to give you a succinct answer. Our first year and a half was right-sizing the business. The company had gotten somewhat bloated, and we had to cut expenses. Mm-hmm. And that's not just people. The company had a lot of obligations to third parties that had to be reworked. Is perhaps the nicest way I could put it. And candidly, we were doing that in a pandemic environment. And I don't care where you went to business school, nobody taught us how to manage through a worldwide pandemic. And I'm very, very impressed with the tenacity of the folks of our team, our board of directors, in managing through not just right-sizing the business, but managing through the pandemic and all of those trials and tribulations. But now we're at the fun part. For the last year and a half, we've been able to focus on growing the business again and focusing in the right areas. And I'm very, very proud of the revenue growth and the gross margin expansion that we've been talking about. And longer term, our core technology, vagus nerve stimulation, has a lot of legs into a lot of extended indications that are going to really supercharge growth in 2023 and beyond.
Perfect. Yeah, and I do definitely concur. It's hard enough restructuring a business, trying to pull something out of the weeds, but with COVID hitting at the same time, it's really impressive you guys were able to manage that. I know that threw a big monkey wrench in pretty much everything across the board for everybody across multiple industries. But glad to hear it's more on the fun part now. And that's the part I really look forward to sharing with everybody, Dan. So in the next video, we'll do more of a company overview as a whole. But today, I feel like you did a great job of really introducing yourself. And I'm curious, what's like the real core message you want people to understand from this video series? If you had to get one real core idea across to them, what do you think that would be, Dan?
Look, we exist to make vagus nerve stimulation available to all of the stakeholders who can take advantage of it, whether they're healthcare professionals and most importantly, for our patients. And so the most important thing we can communicate is how well our technology works in treating headaches today and how exciting all of the additional indications that we're working on are going to be in the future.
Perfect, Dan. It sounds like we're going to have a lot of fun things to talk about here in the future. So everybody, please stay tuned. And if you have any questions, don't be afraid to send them over to us. Visit the website below. Dan, thank you so much for your time. Go ahead. One more thing.
And the ticker is ECOR.
Perfect. Dan, thank you so much for joining us here.
On that.